Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Homestuck Beyond Canon. Welcome, Gwen. Welcome, Leku. Welcome, Corey. Welcome, Max. And welcome to anyone viewing anonymously. Hi. So, yeah, to start off, Problems with album? No. Unofficial MSPA fans album, which I haven't looked at all of the track art, and I should at some point, because it's very important to the whole concept of this album. This was Unofficial MSPA fans' 413 release, Fondly Regard illustration, in which every track of this album was created with the album art first, and the musicians were to take inspiration from the art in order to make their song, which is really fucking cool. It's a really neat concept album, so I just was like, hey, well, let's switch gears. We'll give this a listen for pre-stream and break music for the next little bit. We'll get back to the Psycholonial soundtrack whenever we're finished with these ones. We'll resume where we left off. But yeah, happy belated 413. That was last Sunday. Indeed. And that, of course, means we have to have our 413 update, which we're here to read today. We had a good week aside from the technical difficulties. Because of Pickle Inspector. Yeah. Yeah, so I've been posting on Blue Sky today about some issues that I've been having with my computer that ended up actually being issues with the Homestuck Beyond Canon website. I just thought my computer was being a piece of shit because it's dying. But it actually is not my computer's fault this time, and I have proved that definitively. So, like, because there's two pages in the update today where the website theme changes to being like a black back, like a dark mode, and then in the next panel it changes back to light. That happens twice. And when I was going back through the pages, trying to look over stuff and see where I needed to find this, that, or the other supplemental information, I would hit, it didn't matter if I clicked to go to the next page or used the keyboard arrows to go to the next page from dark mode back to light. On the next page, it would start rapidly flashing between those two themes. And again, I have confirmed this. It's incredibly strange that this is the case, and I would love to know what's going sideways that's making this happen. But when it starts rapidly flashing like that, so it's rapidly flashing. First of all, it affects every single tab that I have the Beyond Canon website open in. The issue does not fully fix itself properly by reloading the page. And the only way I have found to fix this without having to close like everything is by manually crashing the tab using Task Manager by guessing which one it is and saying end task. I just have to guess which tab it is, which is easy to do because the kicker to all of this that I thought was my computer being bad, but it's actually not, is that when this happens, it uses all of my remaining CPU power. Like, I have watched the numbers in Task Manager rocket up to all of the sudden Firefox is using 100% of my remaining CPU, and it's gobbling up anything that it can, and it's these tabs with the flashing theme. It fixes this whole issue once I crash it. So you just recreated it. Yeah. So I will be sending a kindly worded email to the support email, because there is I did look around the website to find it's like support@beyondcanon.com for website issues. So I will be notifying them, because that's extremely weird. For those panels today, what I did was I opened an incognito window, so it was completely different and separate from all of my other history, in case it has something to do with, like, I don't know, cookies or something. I don't know. Could I get around it by going through the log? I could, but I haven't tested yet whether or not, it will still make the rest of the pages wonky, even if I have it open in a distinct separate tab and don't click to go back and forth. I haven't tested that out yet. My solution for today is to just gone into incognito, so it's disconnected from everything else, and taken screen caps of those two pages, which are not text heavy or image heavy or GIF heavy or anything like that. So it's not missing a whole lot. But that figuring out what was going wrong with my computer was one of the things that made prep for today take so much longer than usual. The other thing is, every single search engine that could possibly be used to search the epilogues is either broken or non-existent right now, because the official website is officially down. It's dead down. Here, let's just look at this right off the top. Homestuck.com is broken. Community news, it's officially, like, busted. Like, it's been spotty for a while, but it's pretty well donezo right now. And this is 4 different ways to, can we get some F's in chat for good old hello? Ugh, I hate Twitch mobile. F's in chat for good old Homestuck.com. Oh, let me get the text off the screen. That would be helpful right now. But this is just a quick guide to some other ways to read other than the unofficial collection, which apparently someone has developed a guide to get it running on Android, which is cool. But there's a Homestuck.com mirror and a mobile-friendly one that's got extra CSS for mobile reading. So this search engine is broken. Error page. Maybe I will email them about that. So those two are done. The unofficial collection search engine, for some reason, only searches within Homestuck proper. It does not search within the epilogues. And Homestuck, and, you know, for what I was looking for, I wasn't sure 100% if it was in the epilogues or in Beyond Canon, but it don't matter, because Beyond Canon website does not have a search function. Yet. I know that it's on the to-do list. So I did a lot of squinting at colored pages and pages of colored text to no avail, and I will talk about this when we get to that point in the comic, the thing that I was looking for, but so that's why I'm very late. basically. A lot of just really weird technical difficulties. All of that happened, and now I still don't feel like I have completely prepared for today. I'm sure we'll have good talks that'll all come out in the wash, but yeah, I had like a whole list of questions that I wanted to like look further into and kind of prod a little more, and I never really got to that, and so we're here. And we're going to do a little community news because it's 4:13 and a bajillion things have happened, of course. But yeah. The first thing was this unofficial MSPA Fans album. The other musical thing, I'll play this one during break, I think. New Michael Guy Bowman track on the 13th day, the little homage. So we'll play that during the break in a bit. Past that, let's get to the latest monthly check-in, which I didn't scan for spoilers, oops, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any. So let's just read. Proper experience, full jank. It does something to enhance the experience. I don't know if that something is necessarily positive, net positive. Okay. Happy 4/13 for those of you that celebrate. Oh yes, this is monthly check-in April 2025, of course. April 13th. Hi, James here. Another April 13th is upon us. Some of you might be checking in for the first time in a while, since it's one of those special Homestuck days. If you don't know me, I'm mostly in charge of stuff here at Beyond Canon, the current arc of the Homestuck story. The current team and I started in the middle of Homestuck 2's storyline, or Homestuck Squared's storyline, after its long hiatus, and we're tasked with continuing and eventually completing it. The initial run was loosely based off of Andrew's original outline and the Homestuck Epilogues. We are taking the story and characters in a slightly different direction, while still hitting some of the key points laid out for us. About 2 years ago, under Andrew's guidance, we formed the Homestuck Independent Creative Union and have been slowly handing out licenses to some fan works so they can monetize. Things have been cooking behind the scenes for a while, and something pretty cool is going to come out of it in the relatively near future. I don't want to overpromise, so I'll let that happen as it happens. I don't really have any guesses as to what that could be. I mean, the unofficial collection stuff is one thing. That is one thing that we've seen hints of. Otherwise, I don't know, but I'm excited. Oh, right, and I know, right, because James was talking about the music stuff a while ago, too, so it could also be something to do with that. Perhaps. We'll see. I'm not in charge of anything besides music over at HiveSwap, but I pop my head into the work chat every now and then, and things are coming along slowly but surely for Act 3. What Pumpkin projects are generally pretty small teams with day jobs, so these things take some time. Thanks for sticking with us. As a longtime Homestuck fan myself, I know how hard it is to wait for things. Yay, Act 3 news! Just a little bit of a check-in. Yeah, I'm very pleased to hear that things are going smoothly, or, well, slowly but surely, for Act 3. Because there's a lot of fucking haters out there, the doubters and the haters, who have given up on anything HiveSwap happening ever again. And to them I say, one day you will eat your words. It just might be a couple years from now. Just give him a minute. Today, the Beyond Canon team has the pleasure of working with Honey and Butter, a delightful macaron bakery in Southern California that specializes in these sorts of pop-up event collaborations. A few of my friends have been to these and report that they're delicious. At the pop-up and for a limited time online, there will be some collab-themed official merchandise available. This event was planned, orchestrated, and executed basically in its entirety by our very own Floral, Kim, and Chumi, with some special guest art by the illustrious and talented Hone. They did a great job. Yeah. You will regret your words and deeds. Yes. Yeah, so that... Oh, wait, let me... Right, gotta get my little document ready for YouTubing. So that's what's happening over here. This is their little promo for pre-orders. I think are open by this point. Yes, opened on the 16th and will close on the 23rd. So open for just a week. You know, discount stuff and codes and things from people who went to the in-person event, and there's some early access stuff for people who were not able to get something at the event because they sold out. But yeah, that is what's been happening here. And is this? No, that's the Instagram link. Hold on. This is not Instagram. This is the page for the collaboration, which is what I was mainly looking for. Look at those cute little guys. And I did see... Shit, now I can't find... Because I did see at one point the actual purchase page. Okay, yeah, they look so good. But now, is it somewhere? Well, you want a Gamsey one? That would be good. Yeah, I'll keep you posted if I find that link, like, during the break. But let's keep things rolling, because I'm already running late. Some of you sleuths out there have caught on to a little bit of a secret countdown that we'll be talking more about in the coming days. The next makeshift plush drop, John and Vriska, are coming up, and we'll have more news and previews closer to the launch. So, the next guys on the list. Oh shit, this drops in 3 hours, baby. Oh yeah, it's 420 tomorrow. Happy weed to you all. Happy weed day. So we will not be live still when these drop, but happy weed Easter. True, that is tomorrow. Holidays have just kind of stopped existing for me lately. Yeah, so a young man stands in his bedroom, but who's to say he couldn't be standing in yours? Your name is John, and as it turns out, you have been turned into a limited edition plush. You have a variety of interests. You have a passion for being very soft. You like to be constructed of only the finest materials and are very good at it. By popular demand, we're introducing the next plushie in our Homestuck line. Pair him with your Karkat or not. Let him sit alone for all I care. Pre-order yours today. For more, click here, and it's a link to homestuck.com/story/1, which leads to... It's working? Well, I guess it's... I guess it's not, like, super dead, but if I click enter name, I do get a completely broken image. So, it's not really working. Yeah, it took 4 pages for us to get to the error code. So, anyway, let's just go back here. So that's John's little blurb. Vriska has a different little blurb. Your name is Vriska Circuit. You are a master of being a plush. You can't get enough of it, or really any game of being soft and cuddly. You designed your own plush for fun, as many trolls are prone to do. She is the best character, and you wish you were her. Oh wait, you are her! Your wish has been granted. Probably as a special boon for being great at everything. No real collection is complete without the self-proclaimed most important character in Homestuck. Has she done anything wrong? With the latest advancements in plush technology, you decide. The choice is yours. Make your move, advance or abscond. So, that is what's coming down the line. And now that I think of it, we're probably going to see another news post tomorrow then, since those pre-orders launch in a few hours. To conclude, hope you guys have a great anniversary, and I'm looking forward to many years to come. So, Addendum 1, huh? Not intermission? Wonder what that means. Check out the update and sort it out yourself. I'm out of here, and that's all from Mr. James Roach. Yes. And I forgot this was one of the things I was going to do to clarify the exact definition of addendum before we continue into reading the addendum. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that when we actually get there, because we're not there yet. I looked at that. I looked at this. Just a brief sweep of some other cool 413 things that crossed my radar. Voxus, of course, always has the 413 goodies for us, and this time it comes in the form of their dub of the Trickster arc. So, this is a beautiful thing that is now available for you all to see. Still need to watch that? Yeah. Yep, they've got it all in there. I don't know if the scroll bar is showing up on stream. I think it does. But yeah, it's Trickster time. Another, stepping a little further back to early Act 6, Sally the Word Search has returned to live blogging. Hasn't been a post in a few days. I feel like life is probably still happening a lot. Because I know that was the reason for the initial pause. But we got a few more posts in there. Yeah, there's some new early Act 6 with Sally, and hold on. Okay, no, everything's fine. Epilogue continuing their animated series of following the events of late Act 5, end of Act 5 through to early Act 6. This one is like immediately following Cascade, where the trolls and the humans are meeting each other. John and Jade are just settling on the ship. Rewriting how things happened a little bit, but generally following the story beats, I think, if I remember correctly from older animations. But, like, super cool, very gorgeous, fully voice acted, well worth a watch. And this last one, I don't think that this was a 413 post. No, it couldn't have been, because I reblogged it on April 7th. But look at this sick as fuck embroidery of the Spider Mom Mind Fang sprite from the visual novel. Isn't that so fucking cool? Yeah, so I had that bookmark. I just wanted to show it off because it's cool as hell. Yeah. So that leads us to here. The actual update. Wow. So yes, as was stated in the news post, this is not an intermission. This is Addendum 1. which, to be perfectly clear, or maybe not so clear, yeah, because it's, I'm looking at precise definitions just to make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass. But, yeah, no, addendum is like additional information that's been added to something, basically. Another world, another time. We're going way back to a place we have not checked in on in quite a while, in this next panel. But yes, rather than an intermission, we are getting some additions to prior events. Oh, hi! Yeah, Addendum 1, meat. Meat again. I'm fucking sick of all this meat. I'd be happy if I never had to look at any meat again. Man, it'd sure be amazing and normal if a certain skeletal reptilian stalker would emerge from the smelly vents and have a discussion with me that wasn't spelled out in tactical deposits of flesh. Oh, I fucked it. I've already fucked it. Hold on, I need to close this tab. Oh, no. Oh, no. I literally wrote down the page numbers, and I was like, no, it's not the next one. No, it was. It was. Hold on. But y'all saw that, right? I mean... My CPU and my memory are not tanking this time. I think because I left the tab really quickly. So let me just like... Alright, let's see if... Okay, that seems not broken. That also seems not broken. So I think I was able to nab it before it... Okay. I put so much fucking thought into it. Anyway. Okay. So, I'm doing this on the fly because once again, stream prep time, I was running a little short. But let me pull out here the screen cap that I took of the page that you just saw in a very brief flash. Okay. So, this is the page. Startled by Karkat's astounding observational ability, the young cherub prepares for hasty... Startled by Karkat's astounding observational ability, the young cherub prepares for hasty... So, they've got... This is kind of like Calliope... connecting with old Calliope writing the narrative? Could be incorrect about this. But yeah, so there's a little bit of overlap happening there when Calliopes collide. But we'll see what they have to say for themselves. In a minute here. I'm not gonna just go to the next page. I'm gonna go to the following page, and it's not gonna glitch out all over the place. Oh, fuck. Moments later, but not many. I do enjoy this art. This feels very Haven to me. I feel like Haven did this panel. Oh, what am I doing? What's happening on my phone? Stop that. Alright, never mind. Everything's fine. I'm sorry again about your head, and, also about the meat. I probably shouldn't have been carrying that much at once. It was a lot, but now that you've got it all out of your Sylladex, instead of leaving ominous inscrutable steak warnings for me, we could maybe have a normal people talk about... What is it you want? Right, so this is one of my... This is one of my citations from the very last time that we checked in with these fellas. This was the conundrum. Calliope has been leaving Karkat. Random pieces of meat. Is this? No, this page is further ahead. Because we're starting with Calliope won't leave their cabin. And we'll get to more of the why and also the thing I was looking for that was making me so frustrated before. And then here we're seeing Karkat being startled by Callie. He's probably found one of Callie's little gifts, been seeing a lot more of them lately, which debunks his leading theory that they've been living in the vents. Since Jay is more regular now, Callie feels more comfortable being up and around. Before they were just in the room, nesting snug as a bug in a rug. But yeah, Callie very specifically disappeared when old Calliope showed up and took over Jade in Meet 27 here. So now that alt Callie's gone, we've got a more comfortable Callie wandering around doing things like throwing meat at Karkat. So lead up to these events. Brief recap, because it's been quite a while since we've touched on this particular storyline. And yes, I do believe Calliope is wearing a very snazzy bolo tie. Well, they weren't supposed to come off as warnings. I even left them extra bloody for you. Yeah, they were definitely super bloody. You seemed in need of a bit of extra sustenance. A little more protein would fill you out nicely, I think. Gross. Which, I'm going to come back to that because, again, I think it's connected to what this is leading into. I think a lot of people would disagree. But as to why I've been lingering, well, it's somewhat embarrassing, but... More embarrassing than crawling around overhead like a paw beast, leaving raw rump cuts in my load gaper in the hopes that I'll eat them and get huge? We'll just have to chalk that up to a cultural disagreement. At any rate, I'm trying to be vulnerable here. I know I probably should have just approached you earlier, but this is a disclosure of exceeding delicacy, and I worried that maybe you wouldn't take it the right way if we hadn't already established such great rapport. But asking you to our room would have expedited the process, I suppose. No. No? Karkat, foot, meat, mouth. Listen, it's very flattering, if out of left field, considering that we never fucking talk to each other, that you're attracted enough to me to heap carnal tokens of your affection on my doorstep, and in my respite block, and in my gaper, and my bed, and sometimes my laundry, and also, weirdly enough, never in the kitchen. I super appreciate you gathering up the courage to do all this. That said, no, I'm already up to my cartilage nub in previously established romantic involvement. All booked up. Also, would Roxy even be okay with that, considering I'm seeing his human son? I know incest is a fake human idea, but Dave really seems to care about it for some reason. Like, really seems to care about it. Is he the only one? Honestly, putting aside the fact that we've both already got our own shit going on, your vent stink, the fake incest thing, and your scary head, it just wouldn't really work out between us. To put it bluntly, you couldn't handle me. I'm fucking crazy. My raging maelstrom of neuroses would tear that perfectly polite, bland personality of yours right off its hinges. Okay, I know I'm coming across like a next-level douche here, but trust me. I'm doing you a favor by preemptively squashing any false hope of this travesty before it fucking ruins you. Also, I barely know you. Oh my god. So, yeah, foot meat mouth. There is so much going on here, and all of it is bad. A caduceus on Calliope isn't like paying up for shrubs, maybe? Apparently Calliope decides she's Karkat's nan or something, even doing the "you're not eating enough" routine. It's just her original symbol? Oh, true. Yeah, that is also just her original symbol. But I mean, it could be both with the knowledge we have now. Pretty proud of myself for getting through that entire thing in one solid go. Oh, you thought, oh, Karkat, this is very embarrassing. No, that's not what I meant at all. Oh, okay, yeah. Obviously, that's not what you meant. Wow, this is embarrassing. Okay, wait, but then what do you mean? I suppose I was wondering if you'd, mind reviewing this. It is the candy epilogues, including all of the pieces of candy from Beyond Canon. Probably suggestive in the same way as a cancer symbol is to us. True, that's a very good comparison. Yeah, I'll change that stream title. I didn't open up my things that I was supposed to open up because of aforementioned. Okay. So, yay, it fits in the text limit. Okay. Yeah, let's check all those off. Okay. Hours in the future. So many. Ugh. So, this is the thing that I was trying to find and I couldn't find, and I'm still angry about it. And also this is the thing, well, before I forget, that connects back to Calliope and making comments about how he could use some extra beefing up, or however they worded it. Right, this is the Calliope that uses they, them. Snakes are a bit more literal in a way, but yeah, so this, I think that Calliope made the comments about Karkat beefing up because they wrote and illustrated all of this. They know what Candy Karkat looks like, and they know that potential is there. So, yeah, Snake Karkat, big boss. I think that's why they made those comments. But yeah, the thing I was trying to find is that I swear on my life, and I know that other people, because I was complaining about this on Discord and other and another person was like, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know where it is. I was looking for, there is a textually explicit hint at this situation already, that Calliope locking themselves away and scrawling things on their walls was them having visions of the Candy universe and being connected to Candy in some way. If anybody knows where the fuck this line is, I would love to know. And if I find it, or someone else finds it and sends it to me, I will put that link in the description of the YouTube video. I spent so long looking for this. I'm so sure that it does exist because I know 100% there was already pre-existing, like, textual context to this reveal. It's not an out of nowhere surprise. We already knew that Calliope was doing this stuff. I can't find the fucking page. So. Well, this Karkat looks like the type who'd half-ass any exercise while belly aching about it the entire time. And then a Karkat who isn't belly aching isn't a Karkat at all, is he? Indeed. We are about to read lots of Karkat belly aching. Indeed. Yes, it is a lot more apparent now. This is what Calliope has been up to. Okay. It ends here? What happens after Vriska enters the point? So even Calliope's Grand Candy visions don't know anything about the visual novel, what happened inside the point, or anything that happened after that point. So all of the stuff we just read at end of Act 1 is not in Calliope's knowledge base.
Well, I don't actually know. The visions used to come so easily, but for whatever reason, past this point, I keep drawing blanks. Feels like the old well dried up, and I thought to myself, well, who better to approach for advice than a true connoisseur of the narrative arts?
Well, I'm glad you appreciate that. I definitely have a lot of critiques, if that's what you're asking for. Step off that high horse. Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I had to scroll over a second and just give you all one last look at the disgusting pile of raw meat that Calliope is perched on top of. Okay.
Well, I'm open to hearing them. Truth be told, I don't really plan on changing anything I've already written, but it's just as nice to have someone else put eyes on this for a change. So, what did you think of it?
It's awesome to be this explicitly, hey, maybe you were all too harsh on the epilogues and Squared. Yeah, they are kind of, this is, the whole Karkat's thoughts on the epilogues thing is an extremely meta commentary on, general conversations around the epilogues, particularly Candy. The lack of visions mean that Hell Tier is a bit grim and dark. Could be. I personally don't think that the horror terrors have anything to do with Hell Tier. But I could be proven wrong. Whew, okay, where do I start? The formatting, for one. Are you still doing chapters? It feels like the last chapter just keeps going. Not to mention all the chapters you straight up skipped. Yeah, because, again, this is only the candy parts, which mean that any of the numbered chapters that were in meat are just, like, the numbers are straight up missing. The chapters are not there. Like, they're skipping around from a perspective like this.
I'm actually pretty sure that I'm going to abandon the chapter format. I think if everything past the point of Dave's apotheosis,
his Obama-inspired suicide?
Well, that's a reductive way of putting it, but yes, that... Everything past that point seems to me to work more as the first act of a follow-up saga, which I only really realized a good way into the undertaking. But I was hoping more for notes on content.
Healthy Vriska's too mentally healthy to be grimdark. Rose was having like an all-out crash out when she succumbed to the will of the horror terrors. Well, you definitely took our friend group in an interesting direction. Even if you skipped huge chunks of content, it's horrifying and depressing. It's horrifying and depressing and kind of sadistic. You've got your Wrigler's embiggenment scope towering over our shitty little nest, burying us all alive as you watch perversely. Wrigler's embiggenment scope. That took me a hot minute to figure out what the fuck they were trying to say. Because, like, embiggenment scope makes me think, like, telescope. But burning us all alive. Magnifying glass. Magnifying glass. Magnifying glass on the ant. That is... Yeah, that took me a minute to figure out. Embiggenment. Indeed. But also, it demonstrates a weirdly apt understanding of the shit a lot of us have got going on. Which is odd, because I feel like almost nobody ever actually talks to you. My biggest critique is that if anyone besides us read this, they wouldn't know what the fuck is going on. Was that your intention? And we pull back to Calliope's painting, which, again, there is textually explicit things talking about Calliope painting on the fucking walls, and I can't find it, and I'm real mad about it. Okay. So, we see a lot of this is things that we have already seen. I don't think that any of this is predictive, especially given that Calliope's already confirmed that they don't know or can't really see anything past when Vriska interacts with the plot point. So we've got Rose and Kanaya. Although, I mean, this is actually... With the red dot on Rose's forehead, it is actually showing things that are happening a little bit beyond. Like, that bullet to the forehead was in S-Break. See, this is one of those things that I wanted to really rip into in my own time to be a little more coherent in this. But I ran out. But yeah, for sure, Rose and Kanaya. This, for sure, Jane and Jake. This is Jade and... It wouldn't be Rose again, would it? Like, there's no other details on this silhouette. It's just a fucking chess piece. It's just a pawn, and I don't mean it's a Carpathian. I think this is Yiffy here next to Earthsea in the center with Vriska looming large. Roxy over here reaching for John's broken shattered glasses. This could be like Dirk's suicide tower reaching up and over everything. These kids are pawns. We can see a little bit on the far left, Harry Anderson. On the far right, Yiffy. In terms of the kids. And see, because I look at this silhouette here that's right next to Earthsea, and I feel like that's also Yiffy, though. Yeah, the red and blue swirls are the Vriska Heltier colors, and they'll come back. They come back a little bit later than this. And the purple, I think that's Gamzee. I think that's Gamzee's overreach. Especially because the characters that it's touching it's Jane and Jake over here, and it's reaching out to Roxy, who was also involved in some of the Gamzee stuff early in Candy. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything predictive that we could gain from this. That is my perspective on this, is that it's nothing new. I am looking, though. There's these two black ovals. Like, the bottom one gets kind of smeared. That I can't quite place what they would be connected to. Because these look like John's glasses. You know, random rectangles. Okay, it's John's glasses. I mean, the only other place we see black is right up at Earthsea. An 8, maybe? It could be, or, you know, the infinity symbol, but they're not connected in the middle is the thing. Like this, there's very clearly, like, this ends here, and this ends here. Like, that's the shapes that are telegraphed. There's not really any connection shown between them. So this is what Calliope has been up to. Let's see what other thoughts Karkat has about the Candy epilogues.
This undertaking was really more about intuition than intention. Mostly, I've been writing to decipher what I was seeing for myself. Not to say it wasn't a blast, this rare opportunity for self-indulgence, to infer and embellish so much heart-rending longing I could barely contain myself. Does that count as an intention, having a good time?
I am not the troll to ask that. Other notes. He's like, I don't fucking care about that shit. I have thoughts and you're going to listen to me. Meet 36. Thank you! They stay home all day with the blinds drawn, painting some weird-ass shit on the walls. Meet 36. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, I'm fucking... Okay, I meant to duplicate the tab, not close it. 36. I was... fucking typing quirks! Oh my god! Okay, let me... Because I went through I did a quick... I just put Calliope up in the search and hit enter, and if nothing came up, then I just went to the next page. Calliope, enter, no matches. Next page. Fucking typing quirks. Okay. Thank you. Yes. There it is. Where's Calliope? Are you two still together, right? Oh, God. Back when Jade first got all effed up, Callie saw something and it made them freak. It took me weeks to convince them that it was safe to come home, but now we got the opposite problem and they aren't leaving the house at all. They stay home all day with the blinds drawn, painting some weird-ass shit on the walls. It's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. Some of it is, like, weird and violent, like lots of nasty purple blood and nudity. Yeah, yikes. But most of it is cute stuff, like various combos of all of us being happy and getting married and shit. Anyway, that keeps Callie kind of busy, so it's hard as hell to convince them to let me come see Jade at all. It's like they're traumatized and they think I'll drag whatever possessed Jade back into our home with me. Callie's got all kind of hang-ups about their existence and purpose and potential and lack thereof. When they're ready to talk about it, I want them to be able to talk about it, you know? Got him! That is extremely satisfying. Thank you so much. Need 36. I knew it. I knew it was there. I love being correct. And greatly appreciate the assistance in finding this specific line. Ugh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Karkat has been waiting very impatiently to continue his thoughts. Oh, right, which also reminds me, I also need to give a shout out to Gwen for pointing me in the direction of the fact that the epilogues actually are in the unofficial Homestuck collection. I was just functioning off of an extremely outdated version. So when I said during the last stream that they're not there, they are. I was very wrong. I put in an addendum in the video that I put on YouTube, but yeah, so secondary shout out for assisting me with that, because that's the only reason I was able to put this stuff on screen, because I had that knowledge in my brain. Okay. Other notes. Your tone is all over the place, and you've completely ignored your setting. That I can let slide, though, since technically John seems to be your main POV character here. And, like, yeah, you're right. There's no way he'd give a flying fuck about any of that to pay an ounce of attention to it. Also, I did like how you handled the sex scenes. You locked in on some classic noxious black rom tropes that were all the rage in Alternia, and then unfortunately swept under the rug by Earthsea's ideologically whitewashed post-caste society. Nasty shit without the cultural context, but a critical thread in the grand tapestry of love and hate. They all made me want to kill myself, and I respect that. What a fucking line. Yeah, so that's, you know, that is one way to look at the unsavory bits of black rom from Candy, from an internal cultural perspective. I always forget which one is Watsonian and which one is Doylist. You know what I like in universe explanation versus versus like real world explanation. I'm looking it up. There we go. Thanks, tvtropes.com. Watsonian versus Doylist. Watsonian versus, yeah. Can you just give me a simple definition? Why is this so wordy? Yeah, I always forget which one is which. I just know that those are the two things. In universe is Watsonian, and Doylist is real. Okay, thank you. Oh, hi, Mixo Lady. Yeah, Karkat's got a lot of really good bangers in this one. That's the line for all of this. The line. They all made me want to kill myself, and I respect that. Terrible. Had not thought about it. Because Watson's the character and Doyle is the author. Oh, that makes it a lot easier to remember the difference in definitions. They nailed the Karkat Calliope dynamic despite them never interacting before. Which they do, Lampshade. Yeah. Yeah, so that is a very interesting Watsonian explanation for the character dynamics in the Candy epilogues. To conclude that thought.
Well, That's nice to hear, I suppose. I can't in good conscience act like I was trying to say anything. My focus gravitated towards those specific dynamics, probably because they felt the most comfortable, culturally speaking. Anyway, this isn't what I was hoping to talk about either.
Oh, is my grilling rubbing you the wrong way? This is nothing. You should see the haranguing I put Dave's scripts through. He has a way more sophisticated and nuanced voice than you, sorry to say. Love the little drop that Dave is continuing in his Alpha Earth counterparts' footsteps and scripting.
Well, you really didn't have to say that, but moving past it, I guess that I was just hoping that your unique perspective as both a knight of blood and a well-liked scholar of kinship could grant me some insight on how this all wraps up.
Wait, you don't know where this is going? You didn't think of an ending before sitting down to do all this?
At first I assumed Dave's escape was the ending, which I thought was lovely, but then things just kept happening and happening. This is so hard to explain. It's all spiraled out of my hands. Karkat, what do I do?
I mean, you could call it quits.
No!
Whoa, settle down, Calliope. It's a fucking pet project.
Not to me, it's not.
So yeah, someone's gonna make Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff movies. Karkat's not letting the readers forget that he is, in fact, a huge asshole. Oh, yeah. And here's where, again, they get a little staring into the camera. I mean, this whole thing is staring into the camera, but, like, they get extremely staring into the camera here. Okay, but consider, stories need endings. Who wants to read this sad freak garbage forever?
I do! At the very least, I can't leave things stuck as they are. But if it has to end, I don't want it to feel
pointless? Yeah, I won't pretend I don't get it. You have definitely dug yourself a giant hole to never-endingly bullshit into, but it would be sad to leave them like this.
Exactly! See, I knew you would get it. I haven't even shown Roxy because I was worried, but you seemed understanding.
Yeah, good call. You should play this one close to your chest and basically not show it to anyone who isn't me, ever. Especially Jade.
So, you're saying you want to keep reading it?
Obviously. Give yourself some credit. I could go on and on about all the ways this is one of the most rancorous tomes I've ever set my bulbs on, but I could never say there wasn't love in it. A weird love, but sincere. Honestly, it's got my pan buzzing.
See, this is exactly why I came to you.
Yeah, I get it, you little urchin. I'm hopeless. That said, I'm not sure where to start with this. I'm not sure where to start with this either. It all ended up kind of messy. I mean, I guess we could do some rewrites, but
retcons like that are a little amateurish, don't you think?
For sure. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Retcons. Yeah. So, yeah, this is the part where I was trying to find more words for it, because there's not a lot of words on the screen for me to go off of here. Okay, one thing at a time. This, I think, is Vriska leaving Candy Earth. Simply because of the barrier line and the grayscale on the one side with the full color on the other. That's kind of like, it's kind of coming down into. The next black page is coming up. Oh, yeah. Oh, trust. I have fucking learned from fucking it up once. It is extremely on my mind. It is page 768. Because I did write the page numbers down so that I could look at them while I was doing this. And then, anyway. Page 768. But yeah, so I think this is them exiting and entering Meet Universe. Next we see, this is Meet John's house on Meet Earth. And we know this because Candy John's house was blown up. I was considering going back for like a citation panel on this, and then I was like, wait a second, I don't need to, because Candy John's house was fully blown up. So this is definitely Meet, and we're seeing. So this is peeking in the window at John's bed. We got Roxy, we got Rose. This is where we'll check back in with the unofficial collection. And jump over to Meet Epilogue 1. So these are, you go to your bedroom desk and dig out some stationery. Write, Dear Roxy, you've never written a note so quickly or with such clarity of heart and mind. When you're done, you write 9 more. Your hands leave grease stains on the paper. You leave 10 envelopes on your bed, arranged in a tidy circle with the names of your 10 closest friends written on them. Then, with absolutely no fanfare, you leave all of them and this idyllic world you've created behind, and zap yourself back into canon. So this is Meet John, the letters that were written to, right before he left. However, as we can see, they have been vriska'd away. Shall I put it? And there's, no, that's not, sorry, I'm trying to do OBS stuff while I'm talking again. There is the brief flash of red that we see. Let me just make this bigger so that it's not distracting from the gift in the back. Is this. So there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, that's only 9 letters. So I'm going to guess that the wrote 9 more got misread when they were making this GIF or something. Maybe. But this is the letters, all in a neat circle. And now they are Gonzo. Radius stole one for giggles. I like that one too. Hold on, I'm missing a few things way up in chat. Great new idea for the reaction, but let me just change this one thing. Also, yeah, there's a couple of things I could change. Bunch of other, yeah. See, I know now to fucking frame by frame every single goddamn GIF. 88 miles per hour and travel through time. Didn't take this as meaning it was a result of Vriska, but everyone else did, so I don't know. Sure, guess we'll see. I think that it is because it looks like her Hellfire. And it is immediately following the panel of her doing stuff. Sometimes an update for an ongoing adventure is unexplained things happen, you gotta wait to find out. I mean, yeah, we'll have to, I'm sure we'll get more context on this as we get more updates, but that is the theory, currently, is that this is the Vriska Hellfire. Oh, and the next page, see? I got smarts in my brain. I'm not gonna click on it and make my browser explode. So where's Vriska changing things to progress the story in destructive ways? So the page we're not gonna look at is flashing over to Jaspros with what appears to be Diamond's Drew pouring them a glass of milk out of a wine bottle. Just extremely fucking funny. Yeah, the panel flickers, but there is significantly worse flickering if we actually look at the page, so... Yeah, that is my conclusion. I've seen a few different debates as to what the fuck is happening in the bottom right corner of this image. My conclusion is that it is Diamond's Droog, or perhaps, I don't think that Spade Slick would do this. This seems like a very Droog thing to me. Diamond's Droog pouring Jaspero's a glass of milk into a wine glass out of a wine bottle. That is what I think is happening there. But yeah, this is checking back in with Jaspero's in Midnight City. To what end? We'll have to see. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go like that. And now, I see, this is why, again, the separation, I think, is the grayscale in Candy, because this is very clearly now we're touching down on Deltritus, and this is still the green space surrounding it. Although now I'm seeing it changes to the pink. Ah, right, because they were at... No. What? Hold on. Fuck. So we've got... That was a voice crack. Yeah, this is coming down to Deltritus to be continued again. And in the next thing, we see Vriska is doing something to meet ship. Oh, right. I'm so confused. I forgot to talk about the fact that Dirk is fully embracing the Doc Scratch vibes. The Dirk side of the moon. Yeah, fully Carja's shade. He's fully going Doc Scratch mode here. Vriska would take the most bullshit route to get there instead of a straight line. Yeah. In the first gift, it's almost like Vriska's illuminating the planet. I don't know if that's really it though, because the topography, I guess the blue part is still the same shape as what used to be green, but like this is all pink now, whereas before it might not have. I could split this GIF open, but but it's definitely Deltritus, because the landscape of Deltritus as we've seen it is this like pink and blue, like in past panels. A lot of confusing visuals in this update. Yeah. This though, so Vriska powers on the ship, and what's the result? I mean, this first. Have a fun concussion, you two. But this is the big one. The ship sails, some of the ship sails go from white to black. The body goes from green to pink. Yeah, the laser on top of the ship is like doing inverse colors. We've seen Dells from space before? Photo negative, yeah. Yeah, really, really early. Ghost Flustered, Clown Logistics, how are your feelings? Would it be in here somewhere? No, this is still down on planet, but again, we're getting our look at, the landscape that we're seeing from afar here. Man, these early panels, they really did some fucking good stuff. I went back too far. maybe it is earlier than I'm thinking. Because I'm pretty sure we do see it, like, when the spaceship approaches. Like, this is just them in space, etc. We've got funny jokes and a bunch of other bullshit. Just gonna keep mashing the arrow button. Oh no, this might have been it. There it is. Okay, yeah. So we do also see Deltratus looking like this from afar in an earlier panel. So the pink flash... Because the topography is pink even when they first land there. It just looks green and blue from space, but now they're... The ship is inverted color, so you're wondering if the planet was intended to be two. The blue staying doesn't make sense, yeah. Does Vriska wreck on the planet? So, all we can definitively say that was done in that panel is that Vriska put Meat, Jane, and Jake on the ship. And there's a, there's another one of those things I was gonna find. Jaspros, to Dave Petta in the visual novel, says something along the lines of, they're gonna have to go soon. So, I think this is that. They went. Then I think that's why we saw Jaspros. Jaspros wiping their hands, mission complete, off they went. So have they... It's unclear at this point if this is like... I don't think that they would have retconned it so that they were just in the background and not in any of the other previous panels, but that is a possibility. It's also possible, like, we don't know definitively whether or not they actually went through the character development or whatever that they were supposed to have in Midnight City, or if that experience just kind of isn't there now. Yeah, has there been any dialogue up to this point that would contradict them being on the ship all along? I want to say yes, but I can't. Yeah, I'd have to reread, like, everything. all you can think of is Karkat or Dave complaining about English building his shitty ships. But even then, they could just be complaining about that behind his back because it sucks. Yeah, exactly right. It doesn't contradict him having potentially been there all along. So, like, I don't know. Unless someone can pull a line that very explicitly shows otherwise. Or very explicitly shows that they could not have said this without them being on board. Don't think it was concretely confirmed how many people are on. There's nothing in Midnight City saying it didn't take place at all before the ship took off. That's true. Because Midnight City is like... It's not temporally connected to Earth, right? Talking about... We do know it did take place after the ship left. Oh, yes. Because that's like in the lead up. Where is it? Yeah, because this... Yeah, because this happens after Yeah, I would have to, like, reread this whole thing. Yeah, this happens after they leave. So, add it to the list of risk. Well, the thing is that we don't know definitively yet. This is all theory as to what precisely has been changed. Timeline could be they leave Midnight City, get sent straight to the ship by Jasper's windows, here forever, however much time remains technically with no retcons. Ship leaving Earth. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll have to see more conversations that happen here to really flesh out what the goings on are. Because as it stands, there's a lot of, you know, I mean, we just talked about a whole bunch of different theories as to how this came to be, how it will continue to affect things, how it has affected things in the past, maybe. But yeah, they're back. They're here. Ship leaves Earth. Jaspers takes Jane and Jake to Midnight City. Jaspers takes them to the ship already en route, and they ride the rest of the way to Delphitis. Yeah, I do think that's like the general kind of timeline of things. Yeah, because it could be Jasper's putting them on the ship. It's kind of implied to be some Vriska shenanigans, but also Jasper's had communication with Dave Petta and was in on the Vriska shenanigans in general, so like cahoots of some sort. If Jasper's can open a window to anywhere, then it could just take them straight to Deltritus, but does it because... I feel like it's better for them all to arrive together because of... things would go very differently if they arrived separately. But... problem with having teleporting characters. Okay. We're almost done with this. Are you all okay? That was some of the worst turbulence we've had yet. Sakes alive, sailors. The old girl came with railings for a reason, you know. Hop on my bulge, shithead.
Why don't we take a break?
End of Addendum 1. Jasper's could just grab them all, but I guess is trying to interfere minimally, perhaps? Let's see. What's on my long-ass list of questions? Let's see. We already talked about that. Already talked about that. Already talked about that. Already talked about that. Okay, so I think in the flow of things, we hit up most of what I was thinking about. Yeah, okay. Hey, great job, folks. We talked about pretty much everything that I had written down that I should have had to plan to find more links to. And, you know, ended up going out and finding a bunch of stuff for it anyway. I think the only thing is just that, the letters burning up from John's bed could be just what's in the panel, or it could be implications of something larger. I've seen some theorizing that it has something to do with the revivification of one corpse, one Egbert corpse, perhaps June related, in, you know, their, but I don't know people have put a lot of thought into writing that possibility out in a lot of detail, but I don't know if I'm fully with that. I would hope that June will be given a bit more narrative time than just a retcon and all of a sudden we're here. You know what I mean? Has been quite the sticky note. Yeah, there's this for not a super long update, especially compared to how text heavy the last one was. There's a lot to rip apart in there. June, the corpse bride. Yeah, yeah, I would hope that June gets a little bit more narrative space to play out. I really hope that if it ends up being only one of the two Johns, that it's Candy John, just because, I mean, I really want to see that scene play out with Harry Anderson, where Harry Anderson was gonna make a new outfit. That was real cute. I want follow through on that. Theories of producing like a road to disaster. I wouldn't go that far, but we don't have a huge amount of information to draw on yet, like directly, explicitly from the comic in terms of theorizing on what specific narrative direction they're going to go or how specifically it will be implemented. But yeah, dense. When it's relevant in an update 4 years from now, I will PogChamp. Yeah, I'm an update 4 years from now. I am feeling now like we've like officially passed the threshold where every single one of these streams is, I'm gonna have to prepare for it like I'm writing a fucking essay with all these fucking sources and links and shit. Because that's happened, like, this is 3 times in a row now that I've had to kind of do a lot of digging to call back stuff. And it's like the further we get into the story, the more we're calling back on information from earlier and earlier in the comic. Like, the more information there is to call back on, the higher the chance that, you know, people will not remember all of the details, right? So then that goes into, okay, well, I need to find this panel so that this part makes this sense and it can explain this, and then this references to this, and this feel like preparing a lesson plan or perhaps a live video essay. I guess. I mean, I don't really have a thesis or a conclusion for these. I just like talking about Homestuck. And I like to kind of try and offer a more fleshed out experience of an understandable experience of the updates than reading it through once going, I don't remember what this is talking about, and then stopping at that, you know? Since they said there's a few updates before Act 2, and since this is the end of Addendum 1, pretty sure next one's going to be Addendum 2 Candy. Could be. Very well could be. We're just going to have to sit tight, because this is all we have for now, and that is the conclusion of our time this eve. Look at that. I started way late, and we're still only 12 minutes over. Which I kind of was expecting, because this was not like a super huge thing to go through in terms of just pure text density. Addendum 3 pumpkin, but it's actually a cake. Yes, the reveal of the pumpkin. What pumpkin? I guess we'll find out, maybe. Cut off Dirk's head, but he's actually a cake. God, I want to see the arrival on meat so bad. Like the Deltritus. Like, with, and the, like, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Honestly, I think maybe even more than I'm excited about seeing what's happening with Candy next. Just because, well, I think a big part of it is because they have the Omega kids there, and they are just light of my life. But also, like, Terzi and Vriska reconnecting, and like, it's mainly just, I mean, I'm mainly here for the drama, I guess. But yeah. But we'll just have to wait until May and see what they bring us next, which is not as far away as one would think. I hate that. I hate time passing. But I think I say that basically every stream, honestly, so I should probably just put that a bit to rest. You can all safely assume that I am looking at a calendar and going, ugh, every time. And then June approaches. Yeah, we'll hope they go back to bi-monthly when it actually starts. I do hope that that becomes a financially viable option, for sure. Although it's certainly getting my work cut out for me if they go to bi-monthly. So that's a little bit of a monkey's paw wish for me. Last year, wasn't it? No, it's been once a month since the new team started. It was bi-monthly for, I think, the last, I don't know exactly how many, but just like the last few months of the previous team. Actually, I can just go check on that, like, right now. I can just go look at the date numbers. 10, 11, 12, 24... 117, 214, 312, 402. Okay, so April of 2020. Oh, that's 3 in a month. And then, yeah, and then there was 2 in May, 2 in August, 2 in September. Yeah. So from April 2020 up until the hiatus started, it was twice a month. But the new team has only been doing it once a month since they took over. Up until November last year. Oh yeah, they did that experiment with splitting them in half. I forgot about that, but yeah. Yeah, because it was prior to April. It was April and prior that it was only once a month. And then May up to... September, and then it looks like October is back to 1 at a time, but that was an accident, and then they just kept doing that because it just kind of works nicer. Interesting. Yeah, I don't mind once a month. Personally. Just for my own purposes. But yes, that is true. Oops, already posted. Yeah, so anyway, we'll see what they have next month. And for now, next weekend, we're back to Chicory. We are about to start the first Wielder trial. Woo! So that is what is up. In the meantime, have a super chill week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all your contributions. And I will see you around the interwebs. Happy 420. Happy weed, everybody. And happy weed Easter. Yeah, happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Happy weed if you celebrate weed. Good luck with computer stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I will be looking at almost 4 years since the end of Cyclonials. Oh my god, I still need to reread that. I still haven't read it since I streamed it, which is a travesty because the Cyclonials soundtrack I have listened to 20 bajillion times because that was like, it's really excellent work music. Like if you just need instrumentals for like doing stuff, excellent. Big shoutouts to Clark Powell. Fuck yeah. Never finished that? Well, if you're intrigued, it's all up on the YouTube, or you could just get it yourself off Steam. But the streams are still up there with all of their hot, fresh conversation from directly after the chapter came out. Happy Easter. Drop off after the big shootout with the police. I forget what chapter that is. The fucking pleading faces. God. Yeah. Cyclonials is good, actually. I really need to reread that. Okay. It's time to continue on. So check out after finishing Pester Quest. Yeah, Pester Quest is also truly a fun one. Okay. It is time for me to go get food. So, thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. See you around. We got like 1 minute left of this, not even. So we'll finish off Kraken and then play on the 13th day to play us out. Good night.